Hi, I'm Deadpool. Now you may be wondering, you're not Logan Battles, you're Deadpool. How are you in his Deadpool 2 movie review? Well, I figured I would just bump into his video just to tell you how much of a douchebag Logan Battles is as a movie reviewer, with all the criticisms he had with movies, including mine. Although technically, he didn't review my first Deadpool movie, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm here to present to you Logan's review for my new movie, Deadpool 2. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Hey guys, Logan Battles here. So today I'm here to give you guys my review for a movie I went to see earlier today, Deadpool 2. The sequel to the first Deadpool film. This one is not directed by the guy who directed the first one. This one is directed by David Leitch, who directed films like John Wick. And without giving away too many spoilers, this movie revolves around Deadpool being forced to be on a mission with new members of the whole new team known as X-Force to save this mutant kid from being killed by a time-traveling mutant known as Cable, played by Josh Brolin. And that is about as far as I will go with the story without giving away too many spoilers. I gotta say, this movie was straight up mildly entertaining. Now, is it a great film? No. Was it as great as the first Deadpool film? Not even close. But it was mildly entertaining to watch. So, and there are things about Deadpool 2 that I like, and other things about Deadpool 2 that I didn't like. Let's start off with things that I do like. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. He really carried his whole performance, as well as his character that he was from the first Deadpool film. Most of the jokes you probably heard from like the first Deadpool film, but for the most part, he was very good as usual as Deadpool. Another is Josh Brolin's performance as Cable, and the looks of Cable alone. And those are the only two things I can say positively about the character of Cable. Other than that, actually we're going to get into that when I get into the negatives for this review. So anyway, the woman who played Domino, Zazie Beetz, I think that's how you say her last name, again, she was very good. She was probably the best part of this entire film. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool was pretty good, as well as Josh Brolin as Cable. But the real star of this movie for me, is Zazie Beetz as Domino. She steals every scene she appeared in this entire film, period. I enjoyed most of the breaking the fourth wall moments, as well as a few references that this movie makes to both Marvel and DC universes. Both universes that this movie was made references to, just to make fun at them, but also gave in a story, which I will get into just a few minutes. The action I thought was very, very good. One action scene in particular pretty much rivals the highway scene in the first Deadpool film, in my humble opinion. And that is a lot to say. The one action scene in this film, without spoiling anything, it was the best action scene I've seen in this entire film, without a doubt. And that is about all the positives that I will say about Deadpool 2. Now let's get into the negatives. The character of Deadpool I thought was very, very weak. I did not like Cable at all in this film. It's not really Josh Brolin's performance that I have a problem with. It's the character that I have a problem with. But I don't. Maybe it was the writer. Maybe it was the writing for his character that I have a problem with. But either way, I just did not like Cable in this film. He just comes across as a bland, typical, generic Marvel villain to me. He pretty much falls victim to the whole Marvel movie villain curse. You know what I mean? Movies from Marvel that had villains in them that were just not that good at all. The story I thought was way too similar to another film that I saw before. Do you want to know what I mean? Well, let's talk about Terminator 2 Judgment Day, for example. That movie was about, a T-800 from traveling through time, as well as the T-1000 traveling to the future to terminate John Connor, while the T-800 was sent from the future to save John Connor from the T-1000. And the reason why I brought that up is because the story for this film felt so much like the story from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Cable went through time to kill this mutant kid named Russell, I believe. And Deadpool was, except Deadpool doesn't travel through time, but he still has to save the kid from Cable. Which, by the way, let me talk about Russell real quick. He got on my nerves at times. I cannot stand the character of Russell in this film. There was one scene where he was like in this prison cafeteria with Deadpool and a few big tough guys from their prison cells were like getting up on Deadpool and Russell, and then Russell stood up and was confronting them, and he was like trash talking to them, and then all of a sudden they were like beating him up, and I was just like, really, Russell? Are you really that dumb? Seriously? It'd be like me going to a gym and make all this trash talking to like guys that are like twice as big and strong as me, probably like the same size as The Rock, and I make all this trash talk to them, and then and would you ever see me get beat up by those dudes? Of course you would. I would get beat up by those dudes if I ever do things like that. The writing for his character was so weak. And last but certainly not least, the third act was pretty predictable. There were certain things that were kind of shown to you that you can obviously tell were hints of how this movie is going to end, and that you actually know how it's going to end. And it did happen the way you thought it would. So the third act was really disappointing. But besides all the negatives that I have with Deadpool 2, this was easily a mildly entertaining film, to the point where you can actually sit down and watch it again, just within 2 or 3 times more. Just all those times that you'll ever watch Deadpool 2. Is it a worthy sequel to a very successful grossing rated R comedy comic book film? Yes, it is. It is a worthy sequel to that type of film, the first Deadpool film. It is a worthy sequel to be seen in theaters, I will say. So, with that being said, I'm going to give Deadpool 2 a silver medal of honor. Hey guys, I forgot to mention one thing in this review. I have 2 series of movie reviews that will be coming to my channel next week. The first one is going to be for Rocky Balboa, a series. I'm going to be covering every Rocky film I have not done a review for leading up to Creed 2, which comes out in November, I believe. And for this series, I'm going to be reviewing one Rocky film in a single month. You will get one Rocky Balboa movie review once a month. The second one I'll be doing is for Jurassic Park movies. I'm going to be covering all Jurassic Park films that I've not done a review for leading up to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which comes out on June 29th, I believe. I'm not going to do the same thing with that series as I will be doing with the Rocky series, my Rocky series of reviews. I will be starting off my Rocky Balboa series of reviews on May 22nd, which is a few days from now, probably 3. And I will be starting my series, and I will be starting my Jurassic Park series of reviews on May 25th. With the first Jurassic Park film, the one directed by Steven Spielberg. So that is all the updates I will give you guys for now. So anyway guys, that is my review for Deadpool 2. If you guys enjoyed my review, please click the like button and comment down below to let me know if you saw this movie and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoyed what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.